Right, again. Okay, this is my full NC Fairlane. This is part 2 to another video that I make over a week ago. It's about the aircon. Now, it's a quick story to this. I had this gassed up 2 years ago, worked fine for a day and then a gas leaked out. And then, I didn't do anything about it until just recently. I thought, okay, I'm going to get the aircon working this year. And I took it in, got it pressure tested, they fixed the leak, gassed it up, and it still didn't work. It was sort of rather fortunate, actually, because this was the day before they shut for Christmas. And it was, at 4:30 in the afternoon. They didn't have any more time to look at anything, and because they were already under the assumption that it was working, because they'd pressure tested and gassed it and assumed that it would work, and I'd already paid them $180, and anyway, and then the bloke came out and said, "Oh, it's not working." So he gave me 150 of it back. So I basically got the gas for free. All I paid for was the time they took to pressure test it, fix the leak, and put the gas in. Anyway, they're still shut down over the Christmas period. They won't open for another week. And then they're going to be, because they've been shut down for 2 weeks, they're going to be booked out for at least another 2 or 3 weeks. So basically it'd be February before I'd be able to get it in there. And, by that time in Tasmania, your heat's over. You only really get 1 month of hot where you need the air conditioning anyway. So that's why I let it go for 2 years. It wasn't that big a deal. If I was up in New South Wales or Queensland or somewhere, it would have been a bigger issue. Anyway, the video is, a way of making, providing it is gassed up and your compressor's all, compressor pump is working. And I showed on the previous video how to test that. You just run unplug your compressor, run a wire straight to the battery. If it pulls the clutch in, and then it's a good chance it's fine. Anyway, before I start, if you don't have, a fairly decent understanding of car electrics, don't even attempt this. Okay? Now, there's, you can blow up your whole computer system, you can burn wires out, you could catch a car on fire. There's, a number of things that can go wrong. So, you really want to have a basic understanding of car electrics. Okay, so the first thing, before you do anything, disconnect your battery. Okay? Now, possibly if I was on an older car, I mightn't bother, but a computerised car, if you you unscrewing these with a screwdriver, you bump something that's live and short it, you can blow your computer, just like that. It's so easy. So, before you start fiddling with anything, take the earth off your battery. Right, I'm going to run you through what I've done to make it work. I will, in time. It may not even happen this summer now because, as I said, the heat will be over by the time they're able to book me in anyway. So, but in time, I'm going to get them to test it and find out why it's not working off the main system. Actually, I got an idea of what it is, because I was thinking about, what I've done in the past 2 years that might have caused it to not work, because it was actually working. And one thing I had done is there was a heater pipe that ran under the manifold, steel one that rusted out, started leaking. And I replaced replace it with brass tap fittings, and then just run a hose. And one of those sensors, it'll be a 2-wire sensor. Yeah, they're both 2-wire sensors. Anyway, one of these will be the temperature gauge, for the instrument, and the other one will be a sensor for your air conditioning. And because I don't understand how it works, like it's possibly a current variation or something that controls it. So I'm not going to fiddle with it. I'm not going to disconnect it and join the wires together and see if it works or do anything, because I don't know enough about it. Now, the other ones I'll get to. But I think that's possibly the main problem, because I did put sealant on there, and possibly the sealant's interfering with it or something. Okay, start at the start of where I run the wires. Now, what I wanted to do when I first initially hooked it up, I've had this working for a couple of days, but it wasn't real safe, because I had it. The only power I find, I had it hooked to this black and yellow wire. I don't know what that goes. It's never been connected since I've had the car. Don't know what it's for, but it's constant power source. That's what I had it hooked to. And that runs then to this switch here. This is another switch I found out in my shed. Don't know what it is. It looks Ford, but it's not off the other Fairlane, because the other Fairlane had the same system. So it might be Toyota or something, but I initially tried to fit it, because I had 2 of these. I had a spare cover, and I initially tried to cut the hole bigger and fit the switch into the other plate, and I broke it, which it isn't an issue, because I've got a spare one. This is where the switch was for the power aerial that doesn't work anyway. So this is just a piece of alloy. I've been up, cut a hole in, screwed it back in place for the time being. Okay, so getting back to the issue I had, it's really difficult on this car to find a switched power source. What I mean by switched power source is something that's only going to supply power when the ignition's on. And because it appears as though just about all of these systems run off constant power, constant battery power, and they just they work through the earthing system. So they have constant power, and then it runs through relays, and when you switch the ignition off or switch the switches off, it cuts the earth. So, as I said, it was very difficult to find a constant power source, and I wanted to go from the fuse box. I wanted to go from the fuse that runs the control level, like on the back of these, they come out with a automatic leveling thing that pumps the suspension up and down, and obviously failed, and it's been replaced with regular shockies anyway. And all of that unit's been disconnected, and that's what I wanted to run it from, because I've got a spare fuse thing. But you can't, even though you got a couple of screws here, but you undo them, you still can't take the fuse box out. You can't get to the back of the fuse without taking the entire dash out. So that wasn't an option. I said I did that 2 weeks ago. Remember what? Oh I had to fix the heater unit. Right. Forgotten why I took the whole dash out, but in the process of doing that, this combination switch got broken, the indicator switch, which was probably one of my boy. I got one of the oldest boy to help me lift the stash back in. I think he probably kneeled on it or something, but anyway, break the lever. So that's why the steering wheel's off at the moment, and the cover for the column, you don't need to remove any of that to hook the air conditioning up. I've only just managed to get another switch today. So anyway, back to the job. What I found, right, so I've got a tester. Where's my tester? I'll show you my tester. It's just an indicator bulb. It's got 2 wires. That's what I use just to find, power sources. I hook one to the earth, and and because see, I've got solder on the ends, just makes it a bit easier, and you can poke it into connections or poke it wherever, and However, this I don't even remember how long ago I made this, but this is fine on the old panel van, on the Volkswagen and things, but even that bulb might still draw too much current for some of the systems on a computerized car. So I really should make up another one with a much lower wattage bulb for testing this car. It's really not that suitable. Anyway, that's what I do. That's what I use to search for power sources. Like, you don't want to, on any car, it doesn't matter what car it is, you don't want to be just running a wire from earth and just poking it in as soon as you get a spark. You stuff the systems up doing that. It's always run it through something that lessens the amount of current. So, as I said, that's what I've been using for decades. Just a regular indicator bulb. But anyway, as I said, I went poking around under here looking for a power source that only come on with ignition. The only one I could find actually comes on with the accessories as well as ignition, but I did want just the ignition. But anyway, it's the only one I could find. That's this. It's a grey and yellow wire. I forget what it actually runs now. It runs multiple systems anyway. I think it might, I think it's for power windows or something. Power windows and something else. But anyway, that's the only switch power I could find. Like easily without pulling everything to pieces. Okay. Grey and yellow. So I've hooked the wire into that, soldered it, run the other one to the earth. That goes to this switch up here. The reason it has to be earth is so that this light will work. It's just a little indicator that tells you the switch is on. Camera does show it. You can either, I can switch it off like that, or just push the button. Then there's no lights on. But anyway, that's what I've got it hooked to. So the earth is just for this light, indication light that the switch is on. Right, and we've got the other wire, so we've got the power running to it, the earth going back for this indication light, and then the other wire, the continuation wire, runs in behind the dash. Right, so I've got one safeguard in that it can't be left on once you turn the ignition off, it's off. And also, if it did have an issue and started burning something out or something went wrong, you can switch it off. So that's one safeguard. Right, the other thing I didn't want is I didn't want it coming on when the fan's not on. So I've tried examining this, the systems, and once again, there isn't, like, everything runs backwards off the earth. So you can't, like, even to the relay, don't takes a minimal amount of charge, but a lot of these wires, you couldn't run it through the relay and earth it. It'd just affect it because they're only running on minimal current anyway. So the only thing I could find was this main wire that runs the fan, because this the red and black is the one that runs the fan itself. It comes from this other control unit underneath there. It's yellow and a yellow brown or something anyway that feeds those two wires. They said they're different colours. But yeah, what I found was, like, when I was first testing it, I had one side of that tester bulb hooked to the earth, and I was just poking around, and it didn't. It once again is a constant power supply, but what I found is that the return, the earth will only earth once you switch the heater on. So yeah, so I've hooked. I said, no, I've only used little tiny wires. I mean, it only draws a little amount of current anyway, but that's just another safeguard, just to, it can't run too many amps through those little wires anyway. Can't draw too many amps, so yeah, the red and the black, I've run them. So they activate the relay, and of course the wire coming from the other switch runs into here, the other one comes out, runs up through here, and that was sort of difficult. There's no way you could run it from this side. I had to actually, at first I tried just poking a hole with a poker, poking a hole through the rubber. I'll show you actually. And all it did was push the rubber out, and then I had to go and try and get the rubber back into place, and yeah, that was a drama in itself. So I eventually went and got the drill. Yeah, drilled a hole in it. So yeah, anyway, that's this blue wire here. Get this light to focus where I want. There, that's pretty good. So yeah, that comes out. And I had to feed the wire from this side. It comes down through. You can't even see it actually, but yeah, there's a main wire and plug just in behind all that. So I ran it through. But yeah, this is another safeguard. Now, even if you were to not run it through any of this system, just run it straight from the battery. Or if you run it straight from the battery, you want a fuse to begin with, just for safety, and a switch or something of some kind. But you have to, this is essential, is that you run through your pressure switches. This is a valve sort of unit, but below that, you can see it. See where the blue wire goes on, and the other wire comes off. It's a grey and yellow. The grey yellow is in, and the blue is coming out. But that's one of the pressure switches. Okay, that's a safeguard. If you get too much, the pressure's too high, you can overheat the system. Blow your pipes, seals out, etc., etc. You can cause damage. If the pressure's too low, it doesn't feed enough oil into your compressor, and you can burn your compressor out. So yeah, that's pretty much essential. Okay, you got to run it through your pressure switches. So that's one. The other one is down here in the compressor itself. Like you see, hopefully you can see, it's a blue wire runs in. There's a couple of junctions, so there's another pressure switch within the compressor itself. And there's something I found difficult when I was looking through the book. I was trying to look up, figure out what system I got, because there's a few different systems within those models, and a lot of the colours don't match up. you know, the compressor here that's got its own pressure switch within the compressor, according to the book, shouldn't have a second pressure switch. So, yeah, who knows what system I got anyway. But so, yeah, there's already a pressure switch on the compressor, and I've run it through the other pressure switch as well, because that's how it was previously hooked up. So, all right, so that's the whole of the system. And, yeah, all of that is so that, get around the front here. Right. If you, actually, I wonder if I can sit the camera here. The camera will sit here without actually falling down. Turn you up so I turn you up the other way. Is it going to focus? No, it's going to be out of focus anyway. It's just going to show you. Oh yeah, there we go. I'll just go and switch it on. I'm going to switch the engine on. I'll just switch it on. You can see the clutch pulling on the compressor. Alright, so yeah, hopefully you're able to see that and hear it. And yeah, so that's what all that wiring is about. It's just to pull that clutch in and engage the pump, compressor pump, to make the air conditioning work. Anyway, as I said, don't even attempt this unless you have a little bit of an understanding of car electrics. And if you're in a position you can afford to go and get it looked at properly, do that. I'm still going to do that. It's just that I don't want to miss the whole summer. That's the case down here. Is the summer will be over before I get it looked at again. So yeah, that's why I've gone to the trouble of hooking it up. But yeah, you do have to have some sort of safeguards put in place. And but as I said, the whole purpose of making the video, there also might be the situation. So this runs off, there's like 3 different computers that run this climate control system. And if any one of them fails, it's just not going to work. And replacing them is a major expense, especially if the person replacing them has got to pull all the dash out and everything else, you'll be up for $500 before they even get to it. So, yeah. But, yeah, so this is just a way to have it working if everything else has failed, basically. And, yeah. And it's a choice between, spending thousands of dollars replacing units, or not having any air conditioning. So yeah, that's the whole purpose of showing this video, is that you can actually run it without the system, but you do need to have just a few safeguards in place. All right, we'll leave it at that, and hope it's helpful to somebody, and give us a like, please. Okay, hopefully I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.